Hello guys, how are you today? I really hope you are very fine today. For the new students, I am Maria Paula. I'm going to be your teacher for the rest of the year of this year. I hope that actually. So as I told you in the last class, guys, today we are going to continue with the chapters 4 and 5 of our book, History of United States by Charles and Mary Bird. Keep in mind, for the new students, this book is available to you in our Teams group, okay? So, as I told you, chapters 4 and 5, the four chapters start with the development of colonial nationalism. So the years the American people were confronted by different groups. In this chapter, we are going to talk about the Indian groups, Indian and American colonies confrontations. So American colonies had to spending. They were spending, and they had to cross borders. And the confrontations happened there in the borders against Indians, for different kinds of problems, for different reasons. For example, actually they had different confrontations in different times, for, as I told you, for different reasons. Actually, these confrontations were very casual. It could be since business issue until personal issue. For example, they could have an issue for a short of whiskey or something like that. Yeah. So British government did not have control over that situation, right? But they wanted. They tried to take the control in the Philip Kingdom. So Philip King called his tribesmen to a war of extermination, which broke the stretch of all New England's field and ended in his own destruction, unfortunately. Right? So on the other hand, they had another enemy. I said that at the beginning of the class. Yes, the French. So, but during the first decades of French exploration, the English colonies did not pay attention to that. They were not be considered managed to Boston or New York. Finally, and ironically, they all involved the American colonists with the French in struggles, in serious struggles. Actually, after the Second World, American England began to be alarmed about the rapidly expanding French dominion over all territory but Ohio River. In spite of Washington's warning about keep out of our territory, and he said something like that, right? But the French ignored and continued with their pretensions. In summary, all Indian and the French war had a profound influence on colonial life. Americans were forced basically to rise and support the armies to learn the art of war, in other words, right? Finally, thanks to negotiated Franklin that assured the strength of American arms in the War of Revolution. After French and India War, the American territory began to receive more and more foreigners who were searching what? What do you think that they were searching? That is correct, freedom, new opportunities, and actually they found it. Thanks to their common colony conditions, they were very joined, and they demonstrate an amazing independence as a shared society. And that's it, all about that chapter. As I told you, if you want more information, you have the information in our Teams, okay, in our book. You have access to that book at all time. So we are going to continue with the chapter 5. Please, guys, pay attention here. So, the new course in British imperial policy. In 1716, King George II died and British crown passed to German descent. In the first two reigns, kings usually acted through ministers representing the majority in parliament. It was because the German didn't have much interest in that society, in that administration, correct? So actually they didn't have many respect for the language. The first German king didn't know English, and the second one spoken English, but with accent, with German accent. Okay, very marked. Okay. So, but the third George, King George III, broke with that administration manner thanks to his mother and professors. So, in his administration, he demonstrated more interest in management the kingdom by himself. So he started to make some changes with the support by the parliament, right? On the constitution, the administration source, and they proposed some new laws. For example, in 1764, George III established the Sugar Act, which consists in new taxes on some industrial products as a text, as a food, as a sugar, correct, to compensate the cost of security, the cost of war losses, and so on. But the issue was that taxes was just applied to American colonies. It made tension between colonies. Even did George proposed a new law to colonies again. It called the Stamp Act. After colonies, American population rebelled against George's administration because basically colonies closed and paid during the last year, and they demand being recognized as an American with rights. However, the king did not admit the unfair acts against the colonies, neither the American colony rights. Actually, the parliament with the king answered with a declaratory. The declaratory, which it says like the colonies are subordinate to the parliament and crown of Great Britain. In that sense, fortunately, the American colonies' opinion was not respected or seen, but the marching soldiers were visible to everybody, to all the street, correct? So at this point, it was too late to talk about the excellent British Constitution, right? So, guys, that's it about that chapters. As I told you, the idea is that you continue with the next two chapters. Sorry, I said just one of them. So for the next class, I need that you finish with the 6th chapter. Let me know if there is something that you didn't understand, that you prefer to explain again or something like that. So let me know.